Okay, hello everybody to the Society of Floating Solutions Singapore webinar event. I'm Stefan Hübner from NUS, the National University of Singapore, and I'm also the president of the society, and I will moderate today's event. The topic of today's talks is designing the future of floating leisure from Burj Al Arab Terrace to Oshaya and floating Wave Hamburg. Sorry. And we are very honored to welcome today's presenters, Giancarlo Manfredi, Antti Laaksonen, and Hamed Vaseli from Meyer Floating Solutions in Finland. Giancarlo, who is the lead architect at Meyer Floating Solutions, has 10 years of experience in land structures design and 20 years in marine and offshore design. As an architect, urban designer, and project engineer, he has made significant contributions to such designs, including offshore accommodations for the energy sector, marine hospitality, and real estate on water. He will give the introductory remarks. And he is a project manager at Meyer Floating Solutions, and he is also a third-generation shipbuilder with extensive experience across multiple facets of the shipbuilding industry, and will present the Oshaya Club and Restaurant. And finally, Hamed brings over 8 years of professional experience in architecture, and over the past 2 years, he has served as a project architect at Meyer Floating Solutions, leading design, development, producing detailed construction drawings, and coordinating solutions across civil, mechanical, and electrical engineering teams. He will discuss the floating wave Hamburg. Even though, if you want to do some changes among the topics and so on, this will be totally up to you. What I want to say before we start is that I think today's webinar topic is very important, as floating recreational or leisure facilities can serve as sea level rise resilient climate adaptation tools along inhabited coastlines, but they also provide the option of relocation and flexibility. They do not require land reclamation and also offer beneficial conditions for water sports and other activities, even in cold or polluted or dangerous waters, sharks, jellyfish, and so on. They also have some problems or challenging dimensions depending on location, including permitting, legal questions, costs, and others that we can also discuss today. And a few administrative remarks. Later during the Q&A session, please feel free to post your questions in the chat. If you do that, I read them out on your behalf, or you can also use the Zoom raise hand function. In that case, I will call you up and you can ask the question yourself. We also are video recording the talks, as you noticed when you joined, and we may upload them to our YouTube page depending on consent from the presenters. But for the participants, by being here, you are also giving your consent. You usually do not appear in the video except in case you are starting to speak. So, Giancarlo and Hamed, we are very happy and grateful to have you with us today. And Giancarlo, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Giancarlo here. Happy to contribute with the work that Stefan and his team are being done. It's been remarkably growing, and happy to show what we do here with the target to contribute to the community, to grow together. You know, the market is develops slowly. Stefan highlighted the regulations and founding challenges, and unite community, sharing the knowledge. It's only beneficial to accelerate the growing of the floating world. All right, I will share my screen, right? Please forgive if some technical imperfections, and then please raise your hands if you don't feel the sound or the image is not good. Please help us to make it work smoothly, right? I will start sharing my screen, and we go from there. Can everyone see the Meyer logo?
Can you? It's starting. Yes, can see now.
Yes. All right. I will start talking a little bit of the company, what we do, our processes, the groups of where we are acting, a little bit of the latest ideas we have had, and then Hamed and Antti, they will talk specifically about the two contracts that are ongoing in different stages of progress. Very interesting. So they will tell you in advance what the world will see in the next floating leisure environment, right? So the company is Meyer Floating Solutions. We are part of the Meyer Group, which counts with one shipyard in Finland, two in Germany, and several small sister companies that develop research and high creative and scientific fields related to the shipbuilding and surrounding businesses. We are an independent business unit since 2015. We have our own management, our own corporative body. We are totally independent in terms of creativity and creation, and we can suggest what we want. We are a high-tech, design-driven, management-focused EPC turnkey, meaning from the concept design to the delivery installation, we do the whole arch of services, part together with Meyer and part together with different partners around the world, right? We have a SWAT team here of technicians and specialists in-house, 12 in total. So we can develop concepts before spread to the world in-house. I'm a lead architect of this team, very proud. And then I will start a video. As Hamed just teach me, I need to open it with a different software. Please be patient. Can you see the screen of a video? Yes?
Can see, yes.
Can you see the image moving?
Yes.
And the sound?
No.
No sound? Yes. So now I need to change. Please be patient, people. I will now the window. All right, movie and TV, and this up.
Valuable real estate is located by the
Great.
The world's most valuable real estate is located by the water. The most luxurious waterside properties are already fully developed, offering minimal opportunities for new development. Until now. What's becoming more valuable than building by the water is to build on water. At Meyer Floating Solutions, we believe real estate should be designed for the future, not locked to outdated, land-dependent thinking. We believe buildings can be made better, with less disruption, less waste, and more control. While the traditional construction industry is still manufacturing buildings outdoors, where the exposure is greatest for budget overruns, missed deadlines, and worker safety, Meyer has mastered automation and fully integrated assembly lines indoors, no matter what the size of the product. With 7 generations of marine construction experience, our manufacturing facilities in Germany and Finland have produced thousands of floating structures for clients worldwide. That's why we manufacture off-site. Just like the automotive, aerospace, and energy sectors, we believe real estate too should be built in factories, in clean, safe, and precise environments. This approach removes the need for conventional construction sites, minimizes environmental impact, improves quality, and delivers projects faster. From private residences to public infrastructure, our portfolio spans floating homes, hotels, and exclusive leisure platforms, eco-resorts and wellness retreats, floating port and harbor solutions, mobile hospitals, and offshore logistics hubs. Each solution is designed to enhance life on the water, delivering exceptional living, leisure, and infrastructure without disturbing the shoreline or requiring heavy site preparation. Unlocking massive potential for developers to create private, sustainable destinations. Our iconic creations redefine life on water. In Dubai's Business Bay, our floating villas set a new standard for waterfront living, panoramic skyline views, private marina access, and sustainability at the core. Currently under construction, Oshaya is a next-generation floating entertainment platform designed for high-end hospitality, live performances, and iconic events on the water. We delivered a 10,000 square meter offshore island for the iconic Burj Al Arab, choosing a modular pile-supported approach that beat the conventional land reclamation option, setting new benchmarks for minimal environmental and operational disruption. And the world's largest floating villa, 6,000 square meters of self-sufficient living, complete with integrated power, water, and sewage systems and propulsion. Engineered for privacy, luxury, and autonomy offshore. All our solutions are manufactured and tested off-site, then transported and deployed with minimal on-site work. From cities to remote islands, our floating structures are built to perform in any climate, with speed and precision. We don't just deliver buildings, we deliver fully integrated floating assets, ready to operate offshore or connected to existing utilities from day one. Your vision. We design, build, and deliver.
All right. I believe you are now seeing an image of a building, right?
We see you at the moment.
Me at the moment. So I share again. So you can see a graphic, right?
Yes.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for the patience to watch. But it's a good summary of our market positioning. We are positioned as a, if we must describe, we are real estate developers on the water. All right, the content of I'll try to be very brief to talk about these topics here. The two zones of businesses that we work for, infrastructure and commercial and residential. I will go quickly one by one of these 8 categories, 4 in the infrastructure side, 4 in the commercial and residential side. Then I will talk a little bit about city-sized solutions and explain very quickly how the shipyards will be the driver for the floating revolution. Starting with the commercial residential, this is what you see now is the booming product nowadays, beach clubs, which in the night become nightclubs. This is our flagship so far, is the beach club of the Burj Al Arab. It's a on-pile approach super platform. It's working very well, very successful project. This building was built in Rauma, Finland. It was built in slices, transported over to Dubai and reassembled in the place. And the only part that is local, as in the picture you see, are the grass, the trees, and the water of the pools. This is a glimpse of Oshaya. If this is the Anti's topic today, I hope he have time to join. If he don't have, we can share more data about this project later, or I can myself say some words about this one. This is the Wave. This is Hamed baby. He will talk about this project very soon. more samples of different shapes and how the creativity flies when we talk about leisure on beach clubs. And in the pictures you can see how and why this is booming. This is it's a revenue fountain. People love to go there, to be in the poolside and the seaside, and they start spending money when they feel that comfortable, surrounded by beauty and the equipment that really brings them near to the water, give the water experience. So they are happy to be in the water and they start to spend money. Sorry, my direct approach, but this is how the market goes, right? This is a good sample of branding, how we twist our design to match specific brands. In that case, we have the famous classic boats from Italy, Riva. We twisted our successful Solstice design to the Riva, and in the below image here you have a tropical approach of the same platform. You cannot say, but these two projects have shared the same platform, to say that. So they are just twisted in different to different brands. This is what we see for now. The longest shot we give. It's what we can, how wild we can be if we follow this this approach. Each one of the islands you can see there can be built in shipyard, and then they can be gathered on the site, creating a thematic archipelago. In that case, the Volcano Bay. It's made to please the eyes of cruise ship guests. The cruise ship would navigate around this island, so people will see from outside, then will moor nearby in anchor, and with the tenders they would join this amusement park, floating amusement park. So this is driven to the ship cruise ship public, as well the land local land customers. It's full of automation. You have this, I don't know if you can see a iguana in here. It's a robotic iguana. We have a volcano in the up right. We have this volcano that, of course, erupts every day in the night. We have 6 surf bays. We have a floating duna. We have this inside this fiberglass mountain. You have dark water slides, and you have Copacabana experience on the right side with the concerts and real sand. So people will be dancing with the sand in their feet, and restaurants and all kind of leisure experience gathered in this sample here. Then a little bit about hotels that are a very important piece of the leisure entertainment business. We have been developing concepts of all kind. This is our most luxurious concept developed. It's a budgetless concept for boutique hotel. Then you have 3 other concepts in total different approaches. We have the pragmatic, meaning the cost beneficial, the cost, it's focus on value and cost reduction. We have the urban fashion. This is made to fit in rivers in the busy city centers, and supply small accommodation for the business traveler. And the adventurer, we have done 2 or making studies for 2 hotels to be placed on seas that get frozen in the winter. So the guest will have experience summer and winter experience in these cool hotels. This is our latest adventurer concept. This is for Lapland. It's 12 months per year experience on the ice and on the water, and it counts on an archipelago of different saunas and cabanas all around. Then about villas and residential solutions. Residential solutions, we are talking about more than one home in an island, in a platform, right? We can see in the top, in the left side, two samples of extra luxurious approaches. The one in the left top is built. The one in the bottom is a collaboration with Saota Architects from South Africa. It's 1,000 square meters a luxury villa that was not built, but the project is available. If one of you guys are interested, we can start planning to build this one. And on the right side, we have these villas in the business bay in the Boy Canal. We delivered 9 units of it, and in the bottom, it is a project of villas for self-sufficient villas for the Maldives atolls. Here is our latest conceptual effort here. It's a eco-engineered set of villas, catalog of villas, 7 different designs of wooden superstructures and steel pontoons, designed for resorts, for wilderness, and for urban centers. They are all made of wood together with this Honka, one of the best of the world prefab wooden house builders. One more view to the possibilities of these villas, these wooden villas. We can build on piles, we can build on floating, and we can build on the beach sands. We can prepare a pile frame on the sand, and with the cranes, with the long arm cranes, we can install the villas fully built off-site. We can install on top of these pillars in the beach sand. And again, I'm reinforcing here, we do the survey, the local surveys, the design, construction of site, logistics, and installation and the startup at the site. This is our latest luxurious approach. It's a cluster of 7, around 1,000 square meters each, luxurious houses in a floating island, right? It's the focus here is water sports, yachting, and luxury living, and full privacy. At the same time, they share infrastructure. It's the best of all worlds. This product here. The name is 7 Seas. A little bit about customs. So anything is possible. Here you have a sample of exhibition hall and another archipelago that works in association with the disembark port. Please, guys, stop me if I'm going too fast, right? Then a bit of infrastructure side. We have a suite of solutions. If you guys have been in the latest Congress in Espoo, Finland, that was my presentation. The solutions that enhance the port operation for cruise ships. This is the basic idea. The hybrid solution, part is fixed, part is floating, but everything it's built off-site and installed in place. A bit of the anatomy of each part of this idea. We can see there the regular dolphins and the floating pontoons, and 2 kinds of breakwaters for soft waters and for heavy waters. You have the caisson type on the right. This is expanding the idea of the floating disembark port. It's the transit pier taken to the leisure level. We simply develop the leisure and service facilities in the floating port, in the floating quay. Amusement park in here, science park and beach club. And this idea is here is to buffer the public away from the beach. So public will be the beach, and slowly and in the organized way, they can visit the beach with the island, which is a natural sanctuary. This is a section and through this is to the same project here, showing that we also have underwater venues. Same idea still, but taken to the maximum we can offer, which is a full-scale terminal. We can have a full-scale terminal built on shipyard as well, the same place as the ships are built, and taken to the place and work easily on a floating platform. Another image of the full-scale terminal in comparison with the icon of the seas behind, the biggest cruise ship in the world, just to show that scale for a shipyard. This scale is absolutely not a problem. If we build a ship like this, we can build terminals like that. Then another product that we are very proud of is these different solutions for hospitals and medical facilities. In that case, a crisis solution for crisis for earthquakes, tsunamis, wars. It's a hospital assembled in a barge, which has flexible draft, so you can beach it very near to the sands. And you can deploy 2 military-grade hospitals in the land. And all kind of infrastructure we have been working on. In the upper case here is a data center, which uses the seawater to cool the equipment. And underneath, you have a flexible service platform for desalination and the power generation. More samples. We have infrastructure assembled along a walkway, all on piles, and a bunker below, a small bunker for diesel. And all kind of different solutions, caissons, stairs for rivers with a very wide tide variation. We designed these beautiful stairs. We have another kind of hospitals. In that case, is totally suited to the Muslim culture. And we have the ultra luxury disembark transit piers. Just some samples. And this is a sample we like a lot as well. This is ultra utilization of a bunker platform. It's a very, very deep hole in here, bunkering all kind of things. And on top, they have offices and hotel and amusement park on the top. This is the maximized utilization of a bunkering platform. It's the Sky Park Hotel. Then we start talking about city-sized solutions. This is the STFT idea we are developing together with the Sea Technology from Sweden. It has already green light from DNV to proceed with the studies. We have lots of challenges in here. We don't know. We absolutely don't know if it will look like that or look differently, but this is the starting point for a terminal, container terminal that will be a revolution on the logistics, on the traditional logistics methods. We will replace thousands and thousands of trucks with small feeders, small boats and small ships that will carry these containers through the land via channels. So big ships will not go that close to the big cities anymore with this terminal. This is something that will happen if you want or we don't want. Someone will build this in the future. It will happen. So we are trying to crack the code to understand how to build it. If you guys have some experience with shipyard, you can see how difficult it would be to find a dry dock in this size. There are all challenges that we are addressing as we speak. And this is it's very loud detail in this image because it's a bit of secret. Actually, it's an actual secret. It's a entertainment. It's the same concept of the terminal, but for passengers. It's suite of attractions that will work itself as a destination. And to finalize my presentation, this is a hint. If I like these three pictures, they show that what we are talking about, are not like a lunatic people or crazy people. We actually build this every day. So we have the tools in the shipyards. So we advocate that shipyards are the call to boost the floating revolution. That's all from my part. I'll be very happy to answer questions of yours, guys, please.
Do you want to do questions now, or do we want to go on with the next presentation? It's up to you.
I don't know. I would suggest now, because if they see all the three presentations, they will not remember what question to whom.
Okay, then yeah, as mentioned, first of all, thank you very much. Clapping in the name of the muted audience. So yeah, if you have questions, then either please use the Zoom raise hand function, and then I will call you up. Or if you have the intention to post in the chat, then please also feel free to do so. Then we can read the question. But I will check. But the first thing that came to my mind is obviously here the connection between the cruise ships and the floating structures, which is something that is, I mean, for Meyer in particular, I think important. So is there anything else that you can learn from cruise ships? I'm thinking here, for example, about more details on water
这上面
supply
是有它的个子的。
or electricity supply and yeah, general supply questions.
Absolutely. It's a very good question, Stefan. We have all our team, our 12 specialists in different disciplines here. We are all from the shipyard industry. So we have this mental module already, what can be done easily, what is difficult to build. It's a huge shortcut on the creative process. We don't go through the ways that we know they are impossible or too difficult. So it helps us to shape solutions in more practical way, because we truly believe in the shipyard as the driver now. You mentioned energy. We are very privileged to be a part of this group, because Meyer have their own research teams for advanced methods and researchers around the world about ammonia, hydrogen, all kind of. So we are. If we have any question, we are in the same family, so we have access of it, and time to time we promote integrations, so they see our ideas and we exchange. So we feel really privileged with this proximity.
Thank you. Just to mention this, if you want to use the Zoom raise hand function, this should be reactions, and then there is one of the options is raise hand. Okay, Chu Jiang, yeah, please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, thank you for this interesting presentation. Actually, when I look at your last picture that you are building large cruise ships, right? So considering this and these concepts you're talking about now, I think the main difference is that all of them are very big, but the cruise ship is floating on the sea, and these coast structures, you should find some way to fix it to the shore. So I think, do you say that mooring will be a main challenge for this concepts? From my, if I see that usually these things is when you design them to be accessible for cruise ships and so on, they are in relatively open seas. So I see that waves and the current and the wind is not avoidable. So then a natural question is that how can you moor all these big structures at place? Will that be a cost driver?
Yes, another good question, Xiang. Yes, not only mooring, but also towing. So transporting must involve some kind of towing, which depending on the side can be simply a no-go. The sample I showed of the terminal, for example, it's impossible to tow it across capes, in the Africa Cape or the South American Cape. We cannot tow it. So it's a very limited. And moor as well, it's a very complex part of our design. And it's also a design driver. The draft, it's very associated to the capacity of or the quantity of water you have under the hull. We have among our specialists, we have also people from the offshore industry. Myself, I came from the energy industry, so we count also on the oil and gas mooring experience. This industry is the one that created the solutions that really work. The only industry with the power to test solutions for mooring. We can also test in laboratory creative ways, like in the basins, in the pool basins. But so far, we usually to take these solutions from the offshore industry. I hope have answered.
So okay, when I'm following up, I think most of the time, maybe at the end of the day, you need to go into the pile system.
Yeah. Piles, caisson is a solution. Anchoring is also a solution. There is also a lot of anchoring answers in that, but it defines also how far you are from the land, which can challenge the business itself, the business viability.
Because one of your main design hope is that it will be flexible, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So mostly you want to use flexible or station mooring system instead of this pile system. Then yes. I see that when the structure is super large and it's in relatively open place, it will be quite expensive. That's just my guess.
No, you are very right. You are very right, and it gives us the certainty that there is no design that fits everywhere.
Right. So it's a specific site specific.
Very specific, site specific.
Also ground conditions and so on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. We have two more questions here in the chat. The first one is, will Meyer consider collaborating with other shipyards due to geographical locations? That's probably a short one.
Yes, we do it already. We are building Oshaya in Tallinn, and we do have partners in Poland, in Estonia, as I said, and other partners in the Germany. And obviously, we check first if there is some conflict with the Meyer management team, and if there is no concept, we are free to choose and to partner around the world. We have partners even in US. We are searching partners in Washington and also in South America. We need partners, and Meyer has so far nothing against it.
Okay, thank you. You also got a thank you in the chat. Okay, then here another question. I think this was partially already addressed, but I'm Professor Bekir Sener, writing from Yildiz Technical University in Turkey. I'm Professor Yasmin Östen are working on the naval architecture and maritime faculty. We have an interdisciplinary course for students in the architecture and naval architecture departments. As part of this course, we have student groups design floating or submerged buildings that serve a variety of purposes. My question to you is, does Meyer only work on floating structures, or do you also have designs for structures that sit on the seabed or are submerged?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have the technical teams we deal with, they allow us to work with submerged, partial submerged on piles. We have been playing this role as a consultants for architects to develop their concepts for all kind of structures. It's as you see, we have a relatively big structure and only 2 projects of construction. So we do a lot of consultancy on that, and we organize teams of specialists to give answers of it. We have made studies for an underwater restaurant, underwater resort with 3 levels of glazed rooms. We don't choose. Of course, there are concepts. Of course, you can be sure that the study end up in a no-go. We said no, it's not possible, or it will cost like there is no business possible with this cost.
Okay, thank you.
No, I think it's Hamed. It's Hamed time.
Yeah, I briefly want to mention before we come to Hamed that for our Society of Floating Solutions, we plan to organize our 6th World Conference on Floating Solutions next year in Singapore, and it will take place from the 19th to the 21st of October. We already briefly heard about the last one that took place in Espoo, Helsinki, in Finland, which was very successful, and we are aiming to further improve the quality and also the extend the number of participants. So we plan to start registration in January. So you are very welcome about that time to check our social media and then also to consider joining us for the event. There's also the option, if you're interested, to become a member of the society. This gives you a discount on our activities, including the participation in the World Conference. And currently we have a special offer. If you are joining now, then you will get December for free, and the membership will already start, but your membership fee payment then, whether it is for 1 year or 3 years, would be until the end of next year or until the end of the 3 years, 1 month period. I also want to
Sorry about that. I just want to guarantee that we will be there. We will have the chance to shake your hands, and we plan to take the theme of hospitals. We want to take 3 ideas of hospitals in a presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's very, very great to hear. And we will be very happy to welcome you again. So, then we can move on to Hamed. And as mentioned,
All right.
We go a bit over time because we started later.
Yeah.
You.
It's my fault.
It's fine.
Fault. I paid the lunch today, Hamed.
It's fine. And I'm trying to compress my presentation as much as possible. First of all, I am Hamed. I'm architect from Meyer Floating Solution. And it's almost 2 years that I joined Meyer Floating Solution to this great team that we have here. And I am the main architect of the floating wave in Hamburg project. And I'm the coordinator somehow of the project, but it's absolutely teamwork. And today I can say that I am only representing the whole team that we have here. So let me share my screen. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see the Meyer logo.
All right. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I would like first to start to quickly give you some information about the background of the project. And basically, it was early autumn of 2024, maybe I cannot exactly remember, but maybe October of the 2024 that we got the first contact from our client from Germany that he was looking for a feasibility or a preliminary study for a recreational platform which is permanently moored into the Hamburg land, and it's going to be located in Hamburg River. And the location is exactly in front of this famous, or let's say iconic, office building, Dockland. And as you see in here, this is going to be the situation after the installation that we have. And it gives also a good idea about the whole size of the platform. The main idea of the project was like to have these three main function on this floating structure, which is at the middle, and the most important function is this surfing pool, and then plus the client would like to have also these two other functions, restaurant on one side, and also a kind of multi-purpose room, which can be operate as a kind of yoga or other type of the exercises, or a kind of workshop room for the surfing later. So after we received the first call, we started to do the study related to the location and the site of the project. And the first thing that we noticed at the beginning was like this very diverse water tide that we have in the location. And I can say that like it's almost 4 meters different water level per day, and it happens 2 times like that. We have the lowest water level, and then the later of the day we have the highest water level. And then on the right side you can see this diagram that clearly shows that how per day, and you can see that it's very I can say somehow quite similar pattern that it happens every day, but some days we can see that it's going even higher during the very high water tide, which means that we might have a flood. This is a good example of seeing the differences. I think it was 6 or 7 months ago that I traveled to Hamburg to see the site for the first time, and I took the left side picture around 8 a.m. and you can see there is a very good water level, but on the other picture on the right side you see that which I took it around 1 p.m. and that how the water level is low, and you can clearly see the riverbed. Then the second important thing that we were focusing at the beginning of the project was the previous study that happened by the client in Germany. The other company did a preliminary sketches for the client, and we received also that, and we use it as a kind of like, let's say, basis for our design, because it was giving us the whole idea that what exactly the client is looking for. So let's go to the design. That's what we did. First of all, as I showed on the previous slide, we received these sketches from the other company, and then we started to analyze, to understand. And as you see, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, we had these three main departments of the functions on the floating platform that we have. So we have the restaurant, and also the exercise or multi-purpose rooms on sites, and also the surfing pool at the middle. Then we started to go more deep to the program study. Then based on the whole study that we did for all required spaces for this project, then we try to create the DNA of the project, that what kind of the spaces we are looking for. We have like the back of houses and front of houses. So then all those back of houses can be stored inside the pontoon, which doesn't need specific access to the daylight or direct access from the land, but then we can keep all the client spaces like the dining room of the restaurant and the main office or the entrance room for the surf on top, on the middle deck or on the superstructures. Then after it, the second thing that at the beginning of the project we started to study before studying the main geometry and design of the whole structure was how we want to have the connection between this structure and the land, because this is very important to consider that this project will be permanently moored and it will be installed only one time, and then it will be remain there at the same position for rest of the time. Maybe you need to do the maintenance after 10-15 years, so then for a long time it's gonna be unmovable. So then as you see, we did several different studies how we can create the connection between the land and the structure. And at the end, we came up with the last one, which was acceptable also by our client because he was looking for a kind of like connection that it is going through the superstructures in order to have more control on the client traffic and for the security reason. And then it was always also like a kind of challenging for us that how we can have like the required slope of the bridges or the gangways between the structure and the land based on the water tide and the regulation. So then after this phase, we came up with the development of the main structure. So it was basically like at the beginning, we were just very simply created these boxy shapes that, all right, so let's have the pontoon. And then on top, we have these two superstructures. And for sure, at the middle, we have the pool. And then we added all the also those connection to the land and a cantilevered platform on each side. So then the second phase, we started to do the optimization. We could reduce the use of a steel for the pontoon, which is very important, and it's very let's say a normal process in ship construction in order to reduce the cost of the project, that we do this optimization all the time. And then we get more idea about how actually the surf pool is working, that I'm going to show you later on some other slides. But then we notice that in any case, we need to have some kind of place higher than the rest of the platform or the bottom of the pool on the other side to create this specific angle for the water which is coming from the pumps, and it is the main code of creating the wave on top of the water. So in this case, we needed to have this let's say two different levels on the main deck of the pontoon, and this is why that we get with this condition in here I'm showing with the mouse, and this is the place that we store the pumps in here. And then we started to think about all the vertical connection between these two levels, one inside of the pontoon and the second one on top for the main deck level. And then later we get the idea of using the restaurant side superstructure roof as a kind of rooftop troughs, and we added this extra outdoor stairs there. So at the end, we get closer to the final geometry, looking very simple, but believe me, that is very challenging because of all these gathered function in super small compressed platform. It's very technical. We have the surfing pool, we have the restaurant, and also we have all those back of houses for the surfing pool. And of course the whole nature of the project, which is something in between floating and sometimes being on pipe, that later I will show you how it works. Yes, so this is the main idea that we have. At the beginning of the project, I showed that how is the situation with the water tide. So in any case, we cannot float the whole day. So the whole idea is like that. When we have enough water in the river, we start to float. So we have a specific threshold for the floating, and it happens for a few hours per day. Then when the water is going down, we start to sit on the pile. So we have basically like 10 piles for sitting on, and we have 2 mooring piles that let us to have this vertical movement with the water tide. And as you can see here, we see these 3 different color of the dashed line. The red one is when we have the flood, and the water level is even higher than the quay wall. So the water level is almost here. Yes, on this, the black dashed line that you can see it here, it is almost 6.45 meters higher than the zero, the NHN zero, the German open sea levels. And then we have these 2 other lines, like the yellow one and the green one. That the yellow one shows during the time that we are having the medium water level, and we still are floating a little bit. It's a little bit difficult to see, but later I show a bigger picture to see that how we are getting close to the pile when we are on the medium water level. And then the green one is the time that we are sitting on the pile. So again, see here you can see like that it shows also the connection and different situation, different heights of the building, or different vertical location of the building based on different water level. And as you can see, when we are getting the water going upper, the structure is also going higher with it. And this is the old idea we had. Now we have a different idea, but we are still working on it. But it was like that we might need a kind of hinge at the middle of the gangway because of the water tide. So then basically it works as a kind of fuse, like that when the water is very high, then instead of having any damages on the main structure and also on the bridge structure, the gangway structure, these start to work this hinge and the middle. So then it makes it more controllable. But in general, in any case, it should be with the wheel and then also with the hinge. So one side it should be with the wheel and the other side with the hinge. And then with this idea of having these 2 system on both ends, then we can have also the liberty of having the horizontal movement during the different water level. Yeah, so these are like the layouts that we get. This is the lower deck. It's inside of the pontoon. You see that at the middle we have the pool. Here you see all the pumps that we have, these 6 pumps. And then on the left side, we have on top we have the welcoming desk of the surfing pool and also the yoga room or the multi-purpose room. So beneath it, inside the pontoon, we have the specific space for that purpose. So then through these steps, people are coming down to access 2 sets of the shower rooms, changing rooms, and also we have the unisex toilets, the filtration room, and one big storage here at the end. On the other side, we have the restaurant. So below it, we have the main kitchen of the restaurant, cold rooms, transformer room, technical room, and then again 2 sets of the toilets for the customers. On top, we have the superstructures. Again, on this side, we have the welcoming desk and also the yoga area. Now we don't have these 2 columns at the middle, better. And on the right side also we have the main dining room for the restaurant. And the whole terrace on the restaurant can be also operable during the good seasons. And on top, we have also this, on this side, we have the rooftop terrace that can be used again during the good season. So these are also some rendering visualization. You see that we really tried also to keep the harmony with the industrial shape of the location, that it was the one of the oldest ports in Hamburg. Before it was a kind of like also the fish market. Still there is also on the other side behind those buildings. So then in this case we try to select all the colors, materials, texture very carefully to keep the same vibe, same harmony with the location. And some more visualization. For me, this is very interesting because when I'm thinking about this project, for sure that it gives lots of potential for doing these sort of activities, which were before a kind of like dream for many people, especially in the European cities, that we don't have very good water, natural water for doing this sort of surfing. But now imagine that at the middle of the big cities that you can easily operate one of these, even if you don't have to have it on land, then you can do it on the water. And this is also a kind of like the bird eye view to see that how it looks like with the whole region. Okay, so let's go to talk a little bit also about the structure of the project. Basically, the whole pontoon is a full steel structure. We're gonna use exactly the same system that we use in the shipbuilding, the same technique. We're gonna use the bulkheads and also the steel deck. Very simple. We have a steel, and then we have the reinforcement elements, the stiffeners. And on top for the superstructure, before going that, I would like also to explain a little bit more about this idea of the surfing pool, that how it works, because I know that people sometimes asking that how you create a wave. You can see in this section that the main wave maker is this profile at the bottom of the pool, this shape. And then by having these certain heights of the pump and having this certain angle, you will shooting the water with a certain angle to hit this shape at the bottom of the pool, and then on top you will get the wave for surfing. And then you have at the end of the pool this grid, which is a kind of like protection or for the safety of the surfer, that they can safely land on it and then just go to the pool area, and then water can go through it and then continue for the whole water circulation. But behind this wall in here, we have also the filtration room. So then at the bottom of the pool, we have the suction pipes that let's say that probably with the system of the filtration that we're gonna use, we might need per week to do one time filtration for the whole water we have. So then we're gonna send it to this room with these pipes, and then again after filtration it comes back to the whole main water circulation. And the whole of this system is integrated to our steel structure. Well, the other interesting thing about this project is that apart from the steel structure for the pontoon, we have this log built structure on top as the superstructures. And for this specific project, we have our partner Honka, that they are a famous company here in Finland, that they are taking apart for providing manufacturing the log built structure for the superstructures. So then basically, I can say that we have these three main different structural type. In here, you see that it's all steel structure, very simple. Again, we have the main steel, we have the stiffeners, insulation, and the lining wall. Oh, sorry, in here, yes, the main steel, the stiffeners, the insulation, and then the lining wall. And then at the middle, we have the composite elements, that it's the place or the level that we are meeting these two different structural system, the wooden structure and the steel structure, and on top we have only the wooden structure. So yeah, basically, again, to make it more clear, that we have all the steel, and then we have the gray zone here, and then on top we have like all wood. So let's go with the challenges. I can say that the biggest and the most important challenges that we had were like these two groups of the technical engineering challenges, which were mostly related to the watertight and the nature of the project, which is a hybrid project. It is going to be floating and it's going to be on pile sometime. And the second group of the challenges was like this lack of, let's say, regulatory. Why I'm saying that? Because we are something in between. We are not offshore. We are not on land. We are on the water, but permanently connected to the land. We are moored. So then somehow we need to follow the regulation on both sides, which be also meanwhile applicable to the project and all these techniques of the building that we are using. So first let's focus on the situation with the mooring and the piling that we have. So you see in here in this diagram that basically we have like these 10 piles for the time that we are sitting on them. These are like the load bearing piles. They are very long, almost 25 meters going down to get the enough reinforced soil. And then with the green piles, we have also like the mooring system that it led us to just vertically move and not getting close to the quay wall or getting more far from the quay wall. And this is like the whole situation with the whole length of the piles based on the survey, the soil profile that we received from Hamburg. As you see that how they can be big, and the diameter is also coming because of that we don't have so strong let's say the soil. And then we have like these clamps that we have the clamps that help us to have these vertical movements with this rolling system. And somehow I can say also one of the other challenges that like during the winter time sometimes they are getting frozen, but there are several solutions for them. But this is also the challenge that then on that situation it causes also more, let's say, like the horizontal uh, forces on the mooring piles. And this is why that we needed also to keep the mooring piles with the same diameter as we have for the load bearing piles. And you see that this is also very interesting section because the other challenge is the positioning of the structure. Basically, we cannot get so far from the land because of the gangway, the connection that we want. And then on the other side, we cannot also getting very close again because like that the let's say that the possibility of crashing between the pile and also the foundation of the quay wall. You see that here, the place that I'm showing the most, this is the old quay wall that we had. And then later, they added this part to protect the old one. And in here, you see that this is all going up, this line showing the section of the piling sheet that they have in Hamburg under this piece of concrete, which is going down, but with this specific angle, it's inclined. So then in some specific level, we are getting very close. And this is one of the challenges that at the moment we are looking at how we can find a solution for it. So I can say somehow that maybe later in some similar projects in the same locations, let's say mostly in most of the European countries like that, we have like these very old quay walls sometimes, and they are very, very fragile, and they are protected with the newer added wall that we might see similar challenges. And the other challenge was like that with the piling, we somehow solved the problem with the watertight. But then again, one challenge will be remain, which is the installation. Because again, in the next slide, you will see it clearly. Before showing this, just mentioning that in here also, again, you see the lightweight ship without any people on the board, without any water inside the pool. That with the threshold, when we have the water level on 2.05 plus 2.05, we're gonna get this much, let's say, gap between the load-bearing pillars and the pontoon. And when there is a flood, we're gonna be at this position. And then when the water is lower than this, then we are sitting on the pile. So then this is the moment that we can do the installation. And this is for the time that the water level should be somehow higher than 2.05. So then based on this diagram, which you can also track it online, you see that, for example, we're gonna be at this point. So every day we have only this time window to do the installation, which when you compare it to the whole day, it's not so long. And this is one of the challenge that we have, that how we can solve this problem for just the first time, the installation. But I'm pretty sure that we're going to find a solution. And then let's go to the regulatory problem. I would like just to give you one practical example that we face during the design phase. Well, I mentioned it that basically, because we are not on land, and we are not exactly offshore, we are on the water, but permanently moored and connected to a land. In any case, in this situation, at least now, we don't have any specific, let's say, set of the regulation or any specific frameworks from the cities. And this is, in my opinion, this is one of the challenges that the cities should consider it, and also the suppliers for the materials or all the construction techniques also should consider, because we're gonna see soon more of this sort of like the permanently moored structure. For example, in case of this project, you see in here that we needed, in any case, for the fire safety, follow the EN code, which was asked by the city of Hamburg. In EN code, they are using like this R rating system for stability of the load-bearing elements against the fire. That they have, like, for example, R30, R60, R90, and also we have this EI 30, EI60, EI90. And I don't want to talk more about like the differences between them, because they are for the land. But for the ship, we have also like the different system, which is the A30, A60, and then we have different classification, class of B, C, and they have all different aspects. So based on the requirements of the structural system in the shipbuilding, we have this mineral wool, which is very easy for the installation because it's more flexible and it's much lighter. In case of using the, for example, like the bulkhead system for the walls, when you have the stiffeners, it is going like a blanket. You can just cover all the structural elements by this passive fire protection. And it is for sure providing the same capacity of the resistance against the fire for the load-bearing elements. But on the land side, we are using like this gypsum board system. We don't have any kind of material being similar for the land construction. And what's the problem? The problem is that all these material for the building system are tested based on the let's say like the framework or standards for the marine, or for example, they are approvable by DNV. But we don't have any of them, like the gypsum board, being tested based on the standards for the city regulation, like the EN code, for example. So when we were contacting with the authorities in the city of Hamburg, they were saying that, well, we don't know because we are not familiar with this, and you are talking about this rate of the fire protection against the fire, but we are only familiar with this. And then this is like somehow I can say that one of the challenges that we had, and at the end we tried to convince the authorities that usually all those materials or elements or whatever that we have in the ship construction system are overestimated based on the land standards, because we are at the middle of nowhere when we are building up some structures floating at the middle of the water. So then we must be more careful about all the danger situation than the land side constructions. So I can say that somehow these two, let's say, group of the challenges we are facing, as I mentioned, just those related being hybrid, something between floating and on pile, and same situation when we are in the gray zone of the regulatory. We are not absolutely on the land side to follow the land regulation, and we are not absolutely on the water side to follow the solar, for example, as the main framework of the regulation. Well, I'm done. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that it wasn't very boring.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Clapping again in the name of the muted audience. Do we want to check briefly for questions?
For sure, if there is any question, I'm gonna be happy to, if I could, to provide an answer.
And once again, it's interesting because I mean, one of the places where one could find such surf sites is again cruise ships. So yeah, we see the connection again. So we have two questions here. The first question in the chat is from Judy P. Not directly to the presentation, I think, but more generally about Meyer. Could you share more ideas of if you have any eco-rated platforms? I guess this includes maybe floating planters with vegetation, or here in Southeast Asia, you would think about floating mangrove structures, or maybe eco units or microhabitats for marine organisms installed on the submerged parts or something like that, I guess.
Do you want me to handle that, Hamed?
Sure, please.
Yeah, no, we don't have any. We are very much driven into the real estate and then investments, and our contribution to this to fishery and food and plantation, it's in the academic side. We support academic studies with buoyancy, some studies, but only in the study side.
Okay, thank you. And then question from Yannick Hassabier. Great to see the floating wave taking shape. What is the current stage, and what do you need to proceed? Are all permits in place despite the challenges?
Well, yes, we are very close to apply for the building permit. Maybe latest by end of next week, we're gonna do it. We already created the profile for the project at the Hamburg city. And yes, well, we don't have so much challenges at the moment for applying the permission phase. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then Shu Xiang, again, do you want to ask yourself?
Yeah, thank you. I have a question about this how do you call it, this piling system that is
Yes.
flexible.
Yeah.
Have you considered if, for example, due to the ground stability and whatsoever, it's not in place anymore? How can you keep that in the lifetime of the structure, that the piling system will be like vertical as it designed? because from I don't know exactly how you consider that, if it's going to slope or it's not like vertical as you design, then it will not be kind of fit in again. It's like kind of a docking
Oh,
type
yeah, I mean,
problem.
first of all, I would like to make it clear for myself to understand exactly what's your question. You are asking me that we are considering all these piles to,
Yeah, the
let's
pile,
say,
I think kind of like you have piles and then you have
yes,
then it's up and down. But if the
yes,
pile is inclined, then it
that's
cannot
not
fit in
possible to
again.
happen. That's not possible to happen. That's not possible to happen because this is all designed based on the soil, let's say the soil profile and the rainformance of the soil. So, and this is why that they are very long, because we needed, based on the study, the structural study that we did, we needed certain amounts of the pile going to the enough strong soil to not having exactly the problem or the situation that you are mentioning. So I don't
But
see
how
that it
long is
can
the
happen.
design?
25.
Uh,
I mean, based on the study that we did now, it's 25, the whole heights of the, and it's almost like, let's say that the average is 25, because based on, again, the soil profile, point by point can be different. I'm saying the average is, in some cases, some piles are longer, some are shorter. But let's say that almost like 20 meters of these piles, few, let's say like 50 meters of them are inside of that enough strong soil for being
okay.
and the piling system is not something new. It's not something that we invented.
No,
It
no,
is
no.
happening.
But
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is like a kind of like, let's say, system that you can see everywhere. I mean, it's a
but
traditional.
if you consider so many piles, if you're from a risk
Well,
analysis point of view,
yeah, but this is exactly the point of doing the study. That why we are doing the engineering. Like that. Of course, that we see all these challenges, and we are considering all of these challenges. That okay, in any case, we might have a problem with one pile, for example. Then okay, what's the solution? Should we add one? I mean, let's say like to have like the horizontal structural connection between the piles, maybe just by having all unified as one single unit to acting all together. If in case of any let's say like uh, the problem with one pile, then the others can support. That can be one solution, or any other system. And consider that we are at the moment on the conceptual design phase, that this is only for the permit. And for sure that the more deep detailed design will happen after this phase, when we get the guarantee that okay, we're gonna have the right to build up this building there. Then we are going more deeply. But at least, as I know, as I had the conversation, the discussion with our structural designer, they modeled based on the soil profile that we received from the Hamburg. And I promise you that they are good engineers. And they promise that it's possible. It's absolutely possible.